give it a shot. Looks like the temperature is just right. And the nice part about a twist off, takes away some of the action with a corkscrew, and we're not worried about cork characteristics either. We're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Cheers.
Cheers.
Picking up the lemon lime, that's so typical for our Sauvignon Blanc.
A little bit of passion fruit, maybe even guava. You know, a lot of tropical fruit flavors. Yeah. Pretty nice. Kind of hits you nice and zippy up front.
Still has plenty of plush characteristics. I think that might be from the oak. There's not an oak characteristic in the aroma, even though we did some barrel fermentation with this wine. But it's just below threshold, but it does give it that lovely texture.
What's really nice is that the fruit flavors really stay with you on the finish. Just that really nice kind of, you know, like you're saying, lemon lime, tropical, just fruitiness, it just carries. Really delightful.
The only way we make Merlot so far for the whole history of Provenance has been 100% Merlot. It comes from the coolest areas, I like to say coolest, the Carneros region and Oak Knoll. Primarily Las Amigas Vineyard out on the bay, basically at the end of the Napa Valley, at the southern portion, and then from Oak Knoll. So we get a lot of influence from the bay, the fog in the morning. And I always like to say licorice whenever I'm smelling the aroma. It reminds me of licorice. Sometimes black licorice, red licorice, some form of that. And then tea-like flavors. Merlot to me should be tea-like flavors, and there's a myriad of teas. So there's a myriad of flavors that you can get. The vineyard at Las Amigas has been described as a virtual spice rack, and we are in 7 different areas. So that means we can pick and choose from 7 different blocks and blend them accordingly, and we can bring a little of this, a little of that clove, and sometimes quite often we'll get cedar notes, herbal but not herbaceous. Herbaceous is bad. That's spinachy and broccoli and that sort of thing. We don't have that. These are fully matured grapes when we pick them. Full body, rich, and quite delightful initially. We get a perky flavor. The acidity just seems to be just right at its peak when the grapes are picked. And we don't really have to do much of anything to the grapes. It's good to be tasting Rutherford wine in a Rutherford vineyard.
You can smell the dust while standing in the dust.
I'm picking up on that cocoa aspect now, and the mocha. Yeah.
I mean, it's really, I'll have to say, it's my favorite part about Rutherford wines, but especially it's on the taste.
Ah, the taste. Let's go to the taste.
Right on the finish. You know, it comes in with that cherries and cassis and blackberry, but then it leaves you with that kind of mocha taste. It's really nice.
It has a grip to it, but it's a polite grip. It just tells you that this could accompany almost any type of food. Maybe a steak, maybe a vegetarian steak, I like to say. It's eggplant, grilled eggplant. I do like the finish. It's been maybe 10 seconds since I've tasted the wine, and I still taste it.
Still
It's there.
Just keep sticking with you. I mean, that's really the sign of a great wine, is that you don't just swallow it and it kind of disappears like that. It kind of sticks with you. You can keep tasting it. It keeps changing as you're tasting it.
It's wonderful to have that much flavor at what I think at half the price of what our neighbors might be charging.
I know, you get all the complexity, all the essence of Rutherford. I mean, for really a bargain when you consider it.
Ah, the taste of Rutherford.
Let's try our To Kalon Cabernet Sauvignon. So this wine's from the Oakville sub-appellation in Napa Valley, which is about 5 miles south of Rutherford. And it's about 5 degrees cooler in Oakville than it is in Rutherford, which, I don't know, in my opinion, really changes the character of the wine quite dramatically.
We start getting cherries and berries down in Oakville. Whole different environment.
Definitely, also very different tannins. So, a real velvety, long finish.
Full bodied, it's completely coating my tongue and my whole my palate, and I'm enjoying the texture. The texture and the balance seem to be just high end.
I mean, it's very rich and luscious, but there's also a lot of complexity there, and I think that comes from the different areas where we get the fruit out of. With 4 different clones of Cabernet, clone 4, 7, 337, and clone 6. What do you call it?
I call it gnarly. I love that G. And gnarly, it's a tough one because it requires bridling of that energy, toning down the aggressive nature of that clone. But when it's in balance, it's like a horse, a stallion that's been trained to ride.
Hold on.
Hold on for your dear life.